with Jacob Clement for our first edition of Quarantine Catch-Up. How are you doing, Jacob?
Good, how are you?
I'm hanging in there. So, talk to us about quarantine. How did it start off for you? What have you been doing? Just catch us up.
So, kind of been doing what I guess most everyone's been doing, especially at the beginning, which is just hanging at the house, really. But as time went on, I was able to actually start working out and like going out and just a lot of like running and working out, and that's really it.
So, we all know last season came to an abrupt ending. It was your first junior year. Tell us how you handled that, what your initial reaction was, and kind of just what you were thinking going forward.
So when we first found out, it was all of us as a team, and it was a very weird feeling because it was almost like we couldn't believe it's true, even though we knew it was happening with all the leagues closing. So when it first happened, it was like a really weird feeling, especially that first week because of lots of the Europeans had to leave. So normally, like you would stick around for a week after or something and say goodbye to all your teammates, but everyone was leaving. So it was pretty sad at first, but life goes on, and I mean every other league was shutting down, so it wasn't just us. So
It was kind of expected. I think we all kind of knew it was coming. It was just a matter of when.
But luckily, I still have like eligibility left in my junior career, so I was really felt for the guys who were aging out because we had a really good chance of winning it. So I look at it that way, that like I'm very lucky because like I still have 2 years left to play. So, but
we followed up with a pretty big announcement. So we're going to NA3 this season, and then the following season we're going NA. So after you heard that announcement, what was your reaction? How did it change your plans for your career? Like, walk us through the moment when you found out what league you were switching to.
That was pretty awesome. I actually found out, I think they released it at like 11 a.m. or something like that, 10:30 a.m. And I've been waiting for an announcement for weeks. Just waiting. I would check my phone like every 30 minutes, looking at the notifications. So when we found out that we were moving to the Null in NA3, I was super excited. And even my family was super excited. Everyone was texting me, teammates from when I was in New Hampshire. My phone was like lighting up. Like, man, that is awesome. Like, old coaches. So it's super exciting. Like, it's such a good league. And we have both leagues, so like that's really cool to have a kind of like a feeder team. So, I mean, the only thing that really changed for me was the league, and really using this year in the NA3, really trying to develop as much as I can, and try to make that Null my final year for my junior career. So that's really the only thing that's changed.
So last year, you spent the first half of the year playing offense, and then in the middle of the year, you kind of switched to defense. So talk to us a little bit about what you're thinking going forward and what position you might play and how that affects where you are on the team and your role.
So I think I will play defense for sure. At least that's a conversation we had at the end of the season last year. And I've been playing defense for the second half. So I actually really enjoy playing defense. And I played defense growing up. And the past couple of years I switched back to forward. And I think partly just because forwards want to score more goals and stuff. But I finally switched back. I think coach saw me, and I think they can see that like I can play defensively, kind of even just in practice. And when they put me back, I was like, this feels just better. Like I felt so much like better just in that position, more comfortable, just see the game difference. So I think I'll be playing defense, and like I'm excited, and I'm not going to change much. Just, I mean, try to use my vision and skating ability better, and try to bulk up a little bit, so I can go into the corners and stuff.
That's awesome. So you're originally from El Paso, and you grew up playing as a Rhino. You started with the El Paso Hockey Association. So talk to us a little bit about your origin of hockey in El Paso, and then walk us through your career, how you ended up in New Hampshire, and then how you ended up back to.
So yes, when the rink first opened, uh, my dad took us down, and I actually remember how we used to get like dressed all in the seats right by the old Zamboni door, and I actually remember I don't know if it was my first practice, but back in the day, Coach Herman used to be on the ice with the very little kids like every day at the very beginning. So and it was a really cool experience growing up through that. So I just kept playing, moving up, and eventually, once we got to around the high school age, Tom, Corey's brother, Tom Herman, helped my brother and I get into the CCM showcase. I think that was back in the summer of 2015, and we got contacted by a team in New Hampshire, a AAA team. So we went there for a couple of years and then came back, obviously. So,
What made you decide to return to El Paso?
well, I always knew we always wanted to return and see if we can make the team. So, just even coming back, like we'd be up in New Hampshire during the season, and then we would come back after the season and watch the games, and it was like, wow, it's still just as good as it was before we left. Like this, if not even better, because we were like, wow, we could really try to crack this roster, and we could really try to make the team. And then just talking to the Herman brothers, and we would, even when we were away, when we would come back for Christmas, we would always train with Tom during Christmas break on the ice. So I think we always knew we were going to come back, and they were always very inviting. So it was pretty nice.
Well, you have to tell us, is Coach Corey Herman the same now as he was when he was coaching you as a kid? Is his coaching style the same? Has he changed at all?
I mean, I'm not sure because when he was coaching us, I was so little. Like he was like coaching us how to skate. Like I remember getting on the ice and falling, and then asking if we'd ever skated before, that type of stuff. But no, the brothers growing up, they would coach us. So especially Tom. Tom would coach us a ton as well in high school as well, freshman year. So I mean, I would definitely say the work ethic's the same. So, but a little different.
That's awesome. So we can't not talk about your twin brother. You have a twin brother who is also on the team. He, as of now, is a forward. So tell me a little bit about your competitive nature growing up and what it's like to play along with your brother. You've played with him your whole career, basically. So tell us what that's like.
So yes, played with John my whole life. We're kind of like inseparable at this point. But very competitive. I'm very competitive. So, which is good. So growing up, I mean, everything we did, we were competitive. Growing up practicing at the rink, we would, I hate to say it, we would even like fight on the ice sometimes and have to get kicked off. But now, it's like a different competitiveness. As we matured, it wasn't necessarily like, yes, I want to be better than you, but now it's kind of like, I just want to work hard as you know? And we kind of like push each other in that on the ice in the gym. So it's really nice. And I'm glad we get to keep playing together. So.
Yeah, so you mentioned you have 2 more years of your junior career left. After that's done, what do you hope to do?
So after my junior career, I hope to play NCAA college hockey. So that's my ultimate goal. So that's it. That's my goal. I think that's a lot of hockey players' goal, but that'd just be really nice to be able to go play at a university and skate, and then at the same time get an education. So, and hopefully a scholarship.
Can you see you and your brother going to the same school?
I could see us going to the same school, but I could also see us going to different schools. So we even talked to it before, and I think we'd be okay with either or. So now that there's like FaceTime and stuff, I don't think it'd be that hard.
So you're clearly fraternal twins, and you're also very different. So tell everybody how you're different.
So in my opinion, I think we were very different. We were actually like, if you look at us, we look different, but we were virtually like the same size. On the scale, height, but just different personalities, different playing styles. I would say I'm a little bit more outgoing. I would say he's a little bulkier, maybe a little not stronger, but just bulkier. Yeah. On the ice, pretty different games. Just skating style and everything, in my opinion. But if you ask him to, so. But I think it's good. They can complement each other. So.
Who's older?
I'm older by a minute.
By a minute.
Yes.
So take us through what your summer routine has been like. I know you've been working out a lot. You've been at Wolves Den gym a lot. So tell us a little bit about that.
So before the gyms opened, which is for a while, I was just working out at home. Really trying to work out at least 5 days a week at the beginning. Just free weights because I don't have any machines at the house. So I was running a lot, doing a lot of free weights and stuff like dumbbells. And then once the gyms opened, I've been going almost every day, just lifting. At Wolves Den Gym, I've been doing the boxing classes at night. So for like my cardio, to switch it up, and just really trying to get stronger, put on more mass. And Wolves Den Gym's been really awesome. So they've been really good to us, the trainers and everything. So it's been pretty nice.
Awesome. So I have one last question for you. If you could quarantine with anybody from last year's team besides your brother, who would it be?
That's a tough answer, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Easton, just because I feel like we always, we don't need anything. We're always gonna have a funny time, and it's just a fun time. He's a funny kid, so
I can imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, Jacob, and thank you guys for watching our first edition of Quarantine Catch Up.